Sergio Perez opens up on his maiden Red Bull win, while Mercedes explains Sir Lewis Hamilton's Baku brake magic faux pas. You can now watch full 24-minute episodes of The Inside Line at our new home on unbeaten.com. Sergio Perez says he's still not at one with the Red Bull RB16B, but sees his Azerbaijan win, his first for the squad, as a big reward for all the hard work he's put in at its Milton Keynes base. Perez took the lead of the Baku race after his teammate Max Verstappen crashed out with a puncture on lap 46 and held onto it after the red flag restart when Sir Lewis Hamilton went straight on at turn 1.
It just shows that the hard work always pays off. So I'm very proud, and it's a great boost for the whole team, you know, to know that we got two cars that we can fight, and we really want to win this championship.
Perez heads to the next race, held at France's Paul Ricard circuit, third in the standings, 36 points behind teammate Verstappen, who tops the table, but says this season is a marathon, not a sprint.
It's only race 6. As I say, it doesn't really matter where we are now. It's where we finish in Abu Dhabi. So we just have to keep chipping away and get there at the end, making sure we maximize our car potential. And it's such a long way to go.
Mercedes has revealed that a swerve from Sir Lewis Hamilton at the red flag restart in Baku effectively destroyed his race, with the move causing him to unknowingly flick his brake magic button. Hamilton started from the front row after the red flag and initially took the lead from Red Bull's Sergio Perez, but with his brake bias forward locked up into turn 1 and went down the escape road.
He made a fantastic start. He got himself up alongside Perez, and as he and Perez were sort of shuffling position, Lewis swerved, and in the process of swerving, he just clipped the magic button. And unfortunately, he didn't feel he'd done it, so he had completely no awareness he was going to have a problem.
Hamilton's brakes were smoking on the grid ahead of the red flag restart, but Mercedes says this was not an issue.
So Lewis was trying to maximise the heat he was pushing into the rim from the brakes, and that caused them to get hot enough that they smoked. It's not an issue at all, because as soon as the car gets going and the airflow starts coming through the brake ducts, the brakes will then cool down again, and that's completely fine.
Swift Swede Marcus Ericsson has broken through for his maiden Indycar win in the first of 2 races at Detroit's Belle Isle, the 30-year-old's first in any major series since GP2 turned F2 in 2013. The Chip Ganassi racer qualified 15th, but inherited the lead following a chaotic race with almost 90 minutes of stoppages, including a red flag for Felix Rosenqvist, who had a huge crash at turn 6. His former F1 rival Romain Grosjean also clattered into the wall, while the race leader Will Power's ECU shut down ahead of the final restart, which meant Ericsson was in front and he kept it to the flag.
You know, we had a bit of a disappointing qualifying. Good practice yesterday, though, so we knew we had a good race car. And then, for once, you know, things fell my way, and it's just feels really good.
Circuit of the Americas CEO Bobby Epstein says that the recent rumors of an Austin doubleheader were a surprise, given minimal talks with F1. But there is potential to do something special. Singapore's cancellation this month and concerns over other events has forced the sport to consider its options in delivering a full calendar, with a double-header at Austin a win-win in terms of America's swift return to a new normal and boosting F1's American audiences. But Epstein says the sport has to work fast if it's to make the most of the unique opportunity in October. We can always do the races, even shortly before. Everything else you add in to make it an even more spectacular special event. That one the clock is already running on, he said. Jeddah race organizers have revealed drawings of the new pit and team buildings, which will form the heart of its December night race. Designed by Tilker architect Ulrich Merez, the 4-story, 280-meter-long cutting-edge structure takes the form of a composed landscape of multi-story staggered buildings. Jeddah, which is Saudi Arabia's second biggest city by population and a commercial hub, will host the nation's inaugural Grand Prix on not just the sport's longest street circuit, but the fastest, with an average speed of 250 kilometers per hour. F1 will fly into Saudi Arabia in early December with its event based along the Red Sea Corniche. The layout currently has 27 turns, 16 left, 11 right, with hairpin bends at either end, and the track's top speed, 322 kilometers per hour, achieved on the rundown to the final corner. Ferrari has taken a step towards a state-of-the-art automotive future, with news that it's signed technology industry veteran Benedetto Vigna as its new chief executive officer. Vigna, 52, joins from ST Microelectronics, where he is currently president of its analog micro-electromechanical systems and sensors group, ST's largest and most profitable operating business in 2020. Vigna will replace John Elkann, Ferrari's chairman, who has been acting CEO since Louis C. Camilleri vacated the role in December last year for personal reasons. Ferrari hopes Vigna's knowledge of the semiconductor industry will help pioneer its application of next-generation technologies. It's a special honor to be joining Ferrari as its CEO, and I do so with an equal sense of excitement and responsibility, Vigna said. Jost Capito has become team principal at Williams with immediate effect, following another restructure of the company's operations to better align the race team with its factory staff in Grove. CEO Capito replaces Simon Roberts, who only joined the squad in June last year, initially as managing director, but has since left. Capito had already installed former VW Group colleague Francois Xavier Demaison as the team's technical director, but his role is now even more of a solidifying force after a communication breakdown was discovered between the race and factory-based engineering teams. Under Roberts, both were working in isolation and in different directions, ultimately leading to outcomes like the FW43B, which is sensitive to wind. It's hoped the more traditional F1 team structure will create a streamlined operation at Williams, accelerating development.
The final objective must be to win races again and to win championships. I think there is no doubt.
McLaren has taken a step towards a more sustainable future, with news it will field a team in electric SUV off-road racing series Xtreme E next year. The new FIA category, brainchild of Formula E chairman Alejandro Agag, sees 9 teams racing in 5 extreme and remote areas to educate on the world's biggest climate issues. And McLaren sees the series providing huge benefits to the squad and builds upon its involvement in Formula E.
And so it's something that we feel we have a real expertise in, and so looking forward to seeing as Xtreme E develops how we can continue to learn and build and use Xtreme E as a test bed for our technologies.
4-time NASCAR champion Jeff Gordon says he can't see top drivers from the American Stock Car Series moving to F1, given the specialization required to compete in each. F1 is on the lookout for its next American driver, who would be the first since Alexander Rossi in 2015 to boost interest stateside. But Gordon, in a chat with the sport's official podcast Beyond the Grid, says they are unlikely to come from NASCAR.
Formula One has some of the best drivers in the world, but the two disciplines are completely different. I think it's why you don't see many people go and be successful in Formula One after being in a big, heavy stock car, and I don't think you have people from NASCAR to go over to Formula One, and do that back and forth. It's just two different worlds.
Gordon tested a V10-powered Williams FW24 ahead of the 2003 United States Grand Prix, while his former Hendrick teammate Jimmy Johnson swapped cars with Fernando Alonso in 2018. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.